Okay, so just spent the day out at Hot Springs testing out the new Buggy. Did pretty good, but there's definitely room to improve. So first off, I'll kind of run through the stuff that we got to change. Alright, starting with these shocks. I don't think they've ever had triple bypasses on here, but these are not valved correctly. I mean, it rides so soft in the back, it's insane. So all you're doing is just spending your whole trail ride smashing the bump stops. I mean, continuously, bump stop, bump stop, bump stop. So it rides like crap in the back. It doesn't ride that great up front either, and you'd think with triples that it would ride good. So we got to tune the front, but the backs is garbage. So not real stoked about how the back rides. So I did just order some shim stacks from Busted Knuckle. Hopefully I can play around with some shim stacks before Disney, but there's no telling. So that was issue number 1. Issue number 2 is going to be this brake caliper. So this brake caliper, it's pouring brake fluid out of it somewhere. I don't know where, but we're losing brake fluid from the caliper. I want to say there's a seal in between the casings because these are bolted closed or bolted together. I'm pretty sure one of those seals is leaking because it's really shooting brake fluid all through the caliper. So I either will go get a new caliper just to make sure that the new one's good to go and I don't have to screw with it before Disney, but otherwise we'll figure something out. So brake caliper, yeah, need one of those. So the next thing is going to be these fans. So they are Spall fans, so they're good fans. It's not enough. So I think the problem is the heat shroud is flat against the face of it. So really all you're doing is just pulling air directly from whatever the diameter of this fan is through. It's not like it's spaced out and shielded. If you have them spaced out, it pulls air from, the whole face of wherever it's enclosed at. This is just self-tap screwed right to the face of this thing, and it doesn't cool it very good. So I think I might mess around with a different fan setup. I might try just one big giant Spall fan and see if that eliminates one of my issues. But as of right now, this setup is not working, and it is not adequate enough to ride around in 90 something degree weather. I think it was like 92 today, and we overheated quite a bit. So we will change the fan setup. I will definitely do that one before Rocktoberfest. So alrighty guys, now we are on to the front. The front rode okay, not great. My Buggy rides nicer in this one, and this one has triple bypasses on it. So we need to figure out how to tune these. I've never tuned a triple bypass before. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to start messing with these to hopefully give us a little smoother ride. Additional to that, this bump stop, I was looking at it and I'm curious how it's getting damaged, right? There's nothing here. I figured, I'm not sure, maybe it was previous damage, but no. As this thing flexes out, it smashes into these tabs. So these need cut off, ground down, and this tab needs welded on the outside to give it an extra ½ inch of space, and I think that would eliminate my bump stop issue. So that will definitely have to get done. Some nice asphalt straps I got on here. Sweet name for a company. But other than that, engine ran fantastic. I didn't have any complaints from the engine compartment. Even my melted plug wire is doing okay and not arcing against a block or anything. So I do have a plug wire that just barely touches and is melting, but I figure I'd just bring a couple spares and go on with life since this is working. Now I do have the fiberglass heat shields. I might put a fiberglass heat shield around it, but usually if it's touching a header, it doesn't matter if it has a fiberglass heat shield or whatever you want to call those heated tubes that go over these, it's still gonna melt it. So it doesn't really matter what I do here, it's gonna melt. The only thing I thought about is cutting this header, clearancing the header, and then, you know, and then the plug won't be touching it anymore. So yeah, it will definitely fix it. But didn't have an issue out of the motor all day. Trans was good, engine was good. It is a bit noisy, but I don't think I've messed around with too many Rockwell buggies that weren't just noisy. My buggy's a little bit noisy. I would say this is noisier than my buggy, just on drivetrain noise, but not a big deal. Everything is still spinning. I do have some leaks. There is a output shaft seal leak on the transmission or transfer case. So the transfer case rear output seal is leaking. That needs probably addressed at some point. Not anytime soon though. I'm just gonna go to Disney with that one leaking. Not enough for me to really care. It does look terrible back here, but that's just because it's dripping going on the road and the drip is getting blown back to the axle. So, but other than that, guys, hey, this thing did really good. I'm actually pretty pumped about it. I absolutely hate where the switches are. So every single bump or wherever your arm is, you know, I usually have my arm on the shifter or hand on the shifter just in case you need to select gears or whatever, but your arm is continually just pushing all the buttons. So it's just turning rockers on, rockers off, rockers on. You hit a new bump, all the rockers go off, hit a new bump, some of the rockers go on. So anyways, absolutely terrible placement on the switch panel. And again, something I probably won't address before October since I got a whole buggy to build in my garage. But it's not staying there. There's absolutely no way it's staying there. So that needs moved. Up front, additional to that, I would love to move this shifter over and spin this thing around to be the correct direction. So its park is this way, and literally the dumbest thing ever is like park, that's first. It frickin' hits your transfer case shifter. So really poor thinking on this, but it has all the right parts. They just need orientated to where it works. So yeah, guys, pretty happy with it though. It did great. I mean, still runs, drives. I mean, it's pretty good. So steering's a little slow for a race buggy. I thought it would have some quicker steering. It's pretty dang slow. So either orbital needs swapped. I'm not changing it. I mean, I might try a race here and there, or once or twice I should say, but I'm not a racer. So I just got this thing and wanted to bring it back to life, and it's going to be really hard for me to get rid of it because I do actually really enjoy it. I really like it. So I just have to put my spin on it and get this thing where I think it needs to be. So anyways, well guys, that is going to be a wrap on today's test run. All in all, pretty good. It's drove back on the trailer. I did do a little bit of beating on it, not too bad, but enough to kind of test out what needs to be changed right away and what can, you know, stay as is. So if you guys are liking this video, please like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff, and we will catch you on the next one. Thanks.